last we left off, you guys had a little bit of a scuffle with a couple of earth elements that basically led to you blowing your D&D load in one go, as they say. Or maybe will one day when we're all famous. But you decided to maybe now that you've done 2 minutes of work today, maybe you should sit down for 8 hours and then sleep for 8 hours on top of that.
To be fair, it's what we do in real life.
But to be fair, you're not wrong. Although normally we pick slightly less dangerous spots and don't cower inside a magical dome while we do it. Doing yoga.
Basically the same thing. Oh, yeah.
Lance found some success. Balanced coil. And that's essentially where we are. Did anybody have...
No.
So you come to consciousness. You feel like it's morning. Kind of hard to tell. Don't have a particular underground dwelling species with you. You do have a halfling, but they live in hills, not necessarily underground. So there's it's kind of hard to tell what time it is, but you feel rested. You feel at your maximum capacity. Various reasons. The cave continues to be dark, except for any light that you yourselves. The dome vanishes as Bjorn moves from the center spot where he's had to stay for essentially 16 hours. Because if he moves away from it, the dome disappears. You guys start slowly making your way inside. What are you doing? You continue on?
Yeah. Let's try to actually make some way down there, guys. But that dome is pretty dope. So try, like, if we need to rest again, that's pretty good to have. Maybe.
Oh yeah, I could do that again.
Yeah, cool. So don't fire up all your things so you can't do that anymore, because I like to sleep protected and stuff.
Oh, I can do that one out of the book.
Oh, perfect, cool. That's really good to know. I don't know what that means because
takes a little bit longer, but I'm gonna be sat there for 8 hours anyway. What's another 10 minutes?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go.
So you continue on your way, reluctantly, trudging through the loose ground substance, gravel, shale, rocks, loose pebbles, occasionally having to catch yourself. It's even the flatter parts are still pretty sloped, and you have the cliffs that you're climbing down and across, and generally making your way.
Do we want to be super stealthy, or do we just want to go?
Up to you guys.
Rovan would definitely be trying to be stealthy right now.
The thing with being stealthy is that we're really freaking slow.
Really slow.
And I feel like we've killed the immediate threat. Or I'm naive enough to think that we've killed the immediate threat. So I think
we know that there's more.
I, the player, have a
because
sense of
checked that
impending
last
dread.
time.
I am the character, perfectly happy with this situation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like when you hear the ominous music.
I mean, I'm fine with going the normal not being stealthy, and as soon as we hear something, being stealthy. Yeah, I mean, Michelangelo, you can have like an eye and an ear out, right? So you're pretty perceptive. You'd warn us. Cool. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go at a normal pace. And
Yeah.
as soon as we hear something weird, we stop and be stealthy.
All right, I'm gonna like move towards the back because then at least I can be a bit more stealthy than you lot being like at the front, and I use my bow just in case.
Sure, I'm at the
Range,
front.
All right, you're on meat body. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Your
I got like double hit points compared to most of you, so.
yes, your elf tank leads the way.
Half elf.
Fair. But the other half isn't exactly more tanky than the average elf.
No.
But yeah, so you continue on your way down these slopes and these cliffs that you have to navigate, and it's this very they're like steps for giants. That's pretty much it. They're pretty well spaced out. They seem fairly even. They're still sloped, so you're still scrabbling, but these steps enable you to travel nearly twice as far downwards as you would be if this was a slope just down to the same point. There's no way you'd be able to make your way down here without like an amount of rope that would make it unfeasible. After about 4 hours of this, you guys are all starting to get a little bit tired, start slipping a little bit. People are losing their grip as they're climbing down these little cliff faces. It's been a long while since any of you were jumping down them as you were to begin with. Like the repeated impacts on the knee making it unviable. So
I feel fine.
yeah, Lance is just like, come on, everybody, bounding ahead like a gazelle. Particularly suicidal gazelle, probably in this case, but still a gazelle. And as you keep moving forwards, the way starts to get a little bit tighter. And it starts to curve around. Now, you were told that it could take up to a week to traverse this journey. So, none of you really inquired that much as to, what you might expect along the way, landmarks-wise and that kind of thing. So you're just sort of making your way at what you think is the pace. Obviously, you have lost a day because the first thing you did when you got in here was sleep. But to be fair, you also spent a couple of hours going downstairs that day as well. All of a sudden, you guys are actually doing a lot of physical activity that you maybe a little bit more stressed than you might. But the way starts to tighten up and becomes this narrow corridor. You're not quite forced to single file, but it's certainly not as spacious as it was before. Maybe 15 feet across in places, sometimes as little as 10. Just generally feeling like the space is closing in. And the steps at this point basically cease. They don't really fade away or anything. They just stop, and you guys are sort of in this shaft that's about 40 feet high, but like I say, only 15 feet wide in some places. So kind of like walking in an alley between large buildings. And it's curving around and down. It's this sort of 40 by 20 foot slice. Is Maui snoring? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's really loud. God.
He just wants his moment of fame.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Maui interruptions are always welcome. So, continue on your way. This terrain continues for another 4 hours or so. At the end of the day, uneventful. Does anyone want to make a perception or investigation check? Try and get a vibe area that you're in.
Would Michelangelo's passive
Sure.
not help?
It would help, but this is more of like an active check where you're like actively. It's not, oh, I'm noticing something that seems out of place. It's, I'm paying particular attention to what I can just.
Can I help Michelangelo?
Sure.
Nice.
Make a perception check or an investigation check at advantage. Your choice with. I imagine you'll choose perception.
All right. So 24 perception.
4%. All right.
Let's go.
This there's something of a similarity between the space and the space that you notice these little details, especially you, Michelangelo, with your experience with stone and understanding the way it has grain in a manner similar. Understanding how formations should look, what is likely to be natural. You're able to pick up that I mean, both spaces were definitely constructed or carved by. These are not naturally forming caverns. They're way too consistent. There aren't enough. There are little tunnels that go off to various sides, but the main path is very obvious, even though it cuts through these other networks that might be more. You do notice again those little spiders still seem to be streaming in a kind of similar direction to the way you're going, and you're starting to see little portions of larger webs. I mean, you all noticed that. I was going to give it for free afterwards. But you notice it maybe 5 minutes before everybody else. Yeah, at this point, you're starting to feel like it might be time to rest. Been a long day already.
You guys look really tired.
We're gonna get ganked in our sleep.
Why? What?
There's spider webs and spiders everywhere.
Disgusting.
We're on the water, inside of a cave, and there's spiders.
Yeah, but we have that dome thing, right? Like, nothing can get in there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put that up now. And Bjorn gets out his book and
Cool.
tracing various things all out and weaving his hands.
It's pretty normal that in a cavern this big, there are some spiders and stuff like that. And even underwater, they're like water spiders and stuff like that. So, like, I'm not too worried.
Just a point of clarification. While there are some various little tunnels going off this cave, there's like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes in front of you if you look were to go forward and then track back just to get an idea of where you're going to be. The dome is gonna block the area that you're. It's a 20-foot wide thing.
Yeah, true. Yeah, maybe we should get into one of the side thingies.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, where you were tucked away before, larger space, dark. Bjorn started to lay this out and he stands up and he goes, guys, I don't know. It can be really obvious.
Yeah,
If we go into one of the side thingies, like 5 meters down, we have basically, if we go all the way to the end, right? We've basically, I mean, it's not that much space, but I'm fine with cuddling.
So.
And at least nothing can get in there, and we have like a very straight line of sight to whatever is coming towards us, right? If even anything. And everything else as it goes through the walls too, right? That dome thingy of yours, Bjorn?
Yeah, I don't know how that works with stuff coming out of the ground, actually. I think
Eh. Well, at least
I'm sure it'll be
we're-
fine.
All right.
Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe the earth elementals are maybe a problem because they can glide through the stuff, but like everything else, the spiders and whatever shit is there, they can't get in here.
Well, last night we checked to see if there were any nearby. Can we do that again?
Sure.
Yeah,
Why
Robin.
not?
That was Rovan's bag.
Oh. What did I do?
You
You-
expended a
you-
ranger spell slot in order to check and use your divine sense to see if there are any elementals in the area, if I recall.
Oh, the primeval awareness.
Yeah, that thing.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do that.
Nice.
You still get the vibe that there are elementals in the area. Not immediate. They're around.
Okay.
Well, yes, well. So it's good that they're not immediate, right? So let's do the dome thingy.
It's
and
much
then
the
we can
same
eat
as
them.
responses you got the first time you did it.
Okay.
So you guys have a choice of 4 tunnels to go down. There's 1 in front of you, 3 that you've passed.
I've got to say,
1 goes to the
casting-
left, 3 go to the right.
Casting that spell is really annoying because I can sense Nephi really strong as well because it also senses celestials. It's like almost a bit blinding.
Yeah.
You might need to take a couple steps back to make it a bit easier for me. Sorry, Nephi. Love you.
Says, man, I'll turn down my celestialism.
Have you tried just not being celestial?
Look, I wore a mask for like 8 years, man.
Yeah, turns out that it's the gay shaming of D&D. It's the
Yeah.
celestial thing.
I check out the middle tunnel to the right.
Middle tunnel to the right. All right, so that's a little ways back. The one going off to the left is the one in front of you. The 3 going to the right are behind you. So you want to go for the middle one.
Yep.
How far down do you want to go?
I'm going like 10 meters, and if it's still going on, then I'm turning around and like, oh, that's way too long, guys, and take the next one.
So you're going about the length, like if you raise your arms above your head, you're going about that far into the tunnel.
Like twice that much, but yes.
I mean, you can see down it for further than that. Like it's like
Yeah,
50 foot,
but if
and
I
then
go-
it cuts
if
to
I
the
go-
left, and then so you go down it, and you like peek around the corner, and it just looks like it kind of scrambles away. Make a nature check for me.
A nature check.
Yeah, or survival if you have.
I do not. Oh, I am proficient in nature though. 11.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's tunnel.
Well
Say, what do you want to do? You want to keep going? Checking it out? What's everyone else doing while this is going on?
I would have been watching Lance trying to look around for stuff. Do you see
Is it-
anything?
All right, so you follow Lance down the tunnel.
Just kind of ask. You
Is it
seen
dark in the
anything?
tunnel? Is that the problem?
It's dark everywhere.
I'm
do you want me to-
fine. I can see a little bit.
Do you
But,
want me to
like,
light the tunnel?
Yeah, shiny boy. come.
sure.
I can actually cast light, right?
Yeah, you can. You know, light.
On yourself, just on your face, make it even more glowy.
I can light her trident,
Trident.
right? In that way.
Oh fuck
Yeah, you can make it a glowing staff.
Nice.
No more celestial shaming. I'll cast light on this. Does that count as a spell? Oh, it's a cantrip.
It's a
sorry.
cantrip, so you can do as much.
Cool. All right, yeah, I'll cast light on the staff. Trident.
On my trident?
Trident.
I
All right.
take it off my back and I'm like, yeah, I feel kind of like, what's that guy called?
But can I make it like a
Aquaman?
nice? Can I make it like a
Yeah.
bright pink?
Whoever that is, I don't know who that is, but I feel like him.
Can I choose the color? Yeah, it can be colored as I like.
Yeah.
What color would you like it?
Like you know when the sun hits the water and you're underwater and it's kind of like this bluish,
Go for a pink.
goldish.
Pink.
All right. So with your pink staff, your pink trident, which is like you actually end up just resting the trident on your shoulder because it's producing so much light that holding the trident normally was just kind of blinding you. So you gotta make sure the actual source is behind you and it's just like backfilling. So you have your
I
own
have
shadow.
dark vision,
You're following
and
your
I'm
own shadow
curious.
in. Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
so does
Cool.
Lance, if I recall.
I have dark vision. I'm curious, so I've kind of just started walking off as they're discussing what color they want the light to be.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to keep going down this same tunnel?
Yeah. I've started kind of just exploring.
All right. Cool.
Michelangelo and Bjorn in the main tunnel, like, the fuck did everybody go?
So
Oh,
you-
no, I'm still with them. I'm not going in.
So you're continuing down this tunnel. Rovan, you're pretty naturally minded, although you're used to working with a little bit more color than you have to work with right now, but with dark vision being grayscale.
Mm.
Make a survival check.
It's gonna be 25 and it's gonna just be like, yeah, it's a tunnel.
13.
13. Tunnel.
Nice.
You're not finding anything of interest, and the tunnel doesn't ever seem to sort of widen up much past single file.
And it
You-
doesn't
you
seem
You
like
follow it
there's
for
an
about
end to
100
it.
feet. You want to keep going? Oh, sorry, Shelley, what did you say?
It doesn't seem like there's an end to it with our dark vision, like 60 foot.
I mean, it's twisting and turning a couple of times. Kind of hard to tell.
Can't see around corners.
Without a mirror.
Awesome,
Do
crazy
we
spell.
want to rest in this one and just try to follow it down for a little bit further? Or like, I feel like 100 feet in is pretty good for resting. If we lay down, we can lay down two people next to each other. If we lay on our sides, might be a little bit more cuddling than we intended, but
Alright, let's do it.
You guys are just gonna camp out in the tunnel? Off to the
With
side?
Bjorn.
Do you guys want to
Yeah.
do shifts just to make sure nothing's around?
Well, I
yeah.
don't need as much rest as all of you, so I'll take the first watch. I only need to rest for around 4 hours,
Oh, nice.
so I'll do that with my panther.
All
Does your
right.
panther also just need 4 hours rest?
Panther needs 8. And you still need 8 hours of inactivity. You can keep a watch fine. Even when you're trancing, you're actually like half aware. You would essentially like have disadvantage on perception rolls that you made while in elf trance. But you can choose whether you trance or sleep.
I'll probably trance after.
Yeah, I mean,
I will
elves
sit
very
down.
rarely sleep.
after your watch. I can take second watch. Your Bjorn.
Yeah.
Can you do the dome thingy here so that you're in the middle and like we have what is it, 10 foot, 20 foot to each direction?
I mean,
So we
yeah.
have the
Sorry.
middle.
Just to clarify for me, is this in the main tunnel the main path that you've been following, or is this in the side tunnel?
It's in the side tunnel, but
Yeah, but it's gonna stick into the walls quite a lot.
Yeah, but
Tunnel's
that's
only
fine.
like 5 feet.
It doesn't matter if it sticks in the walls, right? Like if this is the tunnel and we do like this with Bjorn in the middle, we have plenty of space to lie down. I have to cuddle a bit. It's for warmth.
There's a panther, man. Pretty big.
Also,
How big is the sphere? How big is
Michelangelo's
the
big
radius
as well.
of the sphere?
10-foot radius.
a 10-foot radius. So it's...
You can fit roughly 3 people length to length. You could get 6 normal-sized people into the space that you're talking about. But you've also got a panther and a Michelangelo.
Can I just open up the Watcher's workshop and just sleep in there?
Yep.
There you go. So I'm sorted.
Yeah.
That frees up
nice.
enough space, that's for sure. So Michelangelo, you place down the little rock and you stab the chisel into it and watch the door expand and
That's fun.
slip inside. And remember that you're actually aware of some check exactly what
like hyper aware of life or something of that nature. That might suck to sleep, to be honest.
While in the workshop, any cleric or paladin of Semka knows the location of every creature within 30 foot of the portal and every creature within the workshop.
Nice. Even when he's asleep, would he wake up? Would he just know that
yeah,
there's
like
someone new
alarm,
there?
or it's basically like alarm or alert or something.
So you can keep watch while sleeping.
There is a chance that like somebody could somehow like, you know, hide themselves from that because there's magic that does things like that.
But it also needed to know that it needed to do that with the weird
and
doors
also
just in nothingness.
You know, Michelangelo would have to be in a state where he could notice there was a creature.
Oh, so he had to be awake for that.
Doesn't have to be awake necessarily, in the same way that like when somebody enters a room that you're sleeping in, quite often you'll wake up.
Yeah.
But
You wake up, I don't.
Sure, I wake up to
I'm
freaking everything. So yeah,
deep sleep.
So yeah, you have the Watcher's workshop for 8 hours, Michelangelo, so you can sleep in there, and everybody
Roman
else
can
sleep in the
basically sit on top of his cat. So enough space for the rest of us.
Rovan's gonna be plenty warm. So between Rovan and Michelangelo, I'll say that you guys can keep a pretty consistent watch. But if anybody wants to take a watch, then
I would take one.
So who wants to take the first watch?
Me.
All right. Make a perception check with advantage because you're in the workshop. This is you getting a vibe for, you know, there's a lot of creatures within 30 feet of you, man. Like a lot. This is you being able to pick out the important pieces. You know, you're Superman picking the scream out from the city. A lot of sensory
am I rolling?
noise.
Is this perception?
Perception at advantage because you're in the work.
Okay. Cool. That's 23.
23. Yeah, the first 2 hours or so of the night go without much notice. I imagine you're working on something, just sort of chiseling away idly or with focus. Be up to you. And just sort of paying attention to the way that your perception opens up when you enter space. You enter this space and you feel, you know how like you can feel where your fingers are and you can feel where your feet are, feel where your limbs are, and you can move those to places that you're aware of without seeing that. And that kind of self-awareness, that location of your limbs and digits, that awareness of that expands out every person in the space around you. There's almost like you know, Nephilim's like this little glowing finger that's just aware that it's there and connected to you when you're in space. And same for everybody else even the panther shows up on. Then there's a million little things, insects, snakes and various underground dwelling things. Catch on to some like larger snail type things that are burrowing through. Don't pick up anything as large as your party member. 30-foot radius of the entrance.
Okay. Crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. Like
Yeah,
the last
it's a
time you
lot of
did
life.
this, you were at sea, and it like you were on a lake, and sure there was like some fish that would occasionally go under, but it wasn't that crazy. But underground, where you've got like the whole of that sphere is just teeming with life of some kind.
Hmm. All right.
Who's taking second one?
I can take second watch, and you can take the rest, Rovan.
Yep.
Sure.
AK perception check.
Cool.
You have dark vision, right?
Yep.
What I thought.
I have light vision.
8.
8.
Same.
You don't notice anything.
Cool.
Pretty dark
Yeah.
down here. Once everybody else is asleep and kind of distractions have gone away, you haven't seen the sky for a little bit. You're used to a lot of sky being around. Kind of weird even when you're in a city, but you're used to the
Yeah.
only thing blocking the sky being the deck of a ship or a sail.
It's weird.
Yeah,
Wow.
it kind of reminds you of being in the ocean, but in a much less
Wet.
embracing way. When you're in the ocean, it's kind of like it's just a different kind of sky, really. And
Yeah.
you know, there's no
Has it been,
this is just a hard barrier of rock.
Yeah.
A little claustrophobic.
I miss the sea.
Been a minute.
I
Been
mean,
like
I know
4
technically
days.
it's around me, but
Technically, it is.
technically. Has it been 24 hours since I last used the coil?
Yeah, I mean that was yesterday, so
Can I do that a little bit while I'm not paying attention to my surroundings, apparently?
Sure.
It's a constitution check, right?
It's a save.
Oh, it's a save?
It's a save.
Yeah, cool. Oh no, that's really bad.
Uh-oh.
11.
All right.
You rolled a 3.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Rip. Almost as bad as it can get. And I got a +8, which is like,
Yeah.
it should help, but
Well, it did help.
it didn't. Yeah, when
A
you roll
little
that
bit.
bad, you know. I rolled really well last time.
So
That's what I
you
get for not checking my dice beforehand. Oh god.
I have updated your character sheet with
Yeah, no.
Does it show like plus or minus, or are you meant to know the stats? That's my curiosity.
no,
Does it
there's
show
an
as, like-
other modifier field on D&D put in edits.
Okay. I was gonna say, because if it ever happened to me, I think I'd look at my character sheet and be like, oh, I don't even know. Things have changed.
Jelly will notice it eventually.
1 strength.
If I can get my fucking thing to work.
So,
How many do you want me to do there?
otherwise, uneventful night. Rovan,
Mhm.
make a perception check. A disadvantage for the last 4.
Oh. Okay. Well. 7, even worse.
Oh no.
You really enjoyed being in the woods
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago, meeting your panther. And you spend most of this time while you're transing, pulling memories, going over, meditating. storing them away. Elves do sing. Pull memories from various points in your life, all of them in the last couple of years. Often these days, the metaphor. You're teasing these memories of how effective it was in aiding the group, the Earth Elemental situation. You're a little beyond relatively safe, willing to put itself on the line. Eventually, your party starts to win. Another day has passed. What do you guys like to do?
Let's go.
Yeah, we're really well yesterday. Let's go. Get up, people. Let's go.
Slide out the workshop. Michelangelo. No.
I nudge Nephilim with my foot. Come on, get up. We gotta go.
Listen, 5 more minutes will be okay.
No, get up. Come on.
I'm gonna go get the panther to go lick him on the face, wake him up.
You get a lot of cat tongue, and I'm sure everyone's been licked by a cat before. The large version of this isn't any softer. It's like a large piece of sandpaper across the face.
Yeah.
At least I don't need to exfoliate today. All right.
Or shave.
Or shave. Look, can I grow facial hair?
That's up to you.
Dude,
I don't know, man.
ASMR.
Honestly, I've never
Yeah.
figured out what gender an Nephilim was, so
Fluid.
that's what I've been going with. I've mostly referred to them as they. So you continue on. Go back, retrace your steps back to the main area. You on your way. Another couple of hours passes. Rain stays much the same. This descent, spiraling, curving around. There are more side tunnels coming up, more open spaces. The sort of chasm that you're walking through breaks out into this large cavern. There are these giant stalactites and crystals poking through the walls, and any light that you're producing is reflecting off those and casting brilliant shadows and rainbows across the walls. Catch little bits of moss and various little scurrying things about the size of your fist. Hide as soon as the light hits.
Whoa. This is cool.
Yeah, Michelangelo, this is really cool.
Can I investigate?
Yeah, of course.
I want to do that.
All right, make an investigation check. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Yeah, maybe what the properties of crystals are.
Yeah,
and
sure.
If I can tell anything like that, or any other cool things. This is just a flat roll, no advantage or anything like that.
Investigation check. Not everything has extra sauce,
I rolled a 8.
Okay. Pretty cool. You think that maybe with, if you came back and spent solid time, you might be able to figure out how to make the crystals are very stone-like.
Cool.
Seem very prone to shattering. Not many shards around. You would expect more shards. Rockfalls happen all the time, tectonic activity, especially when you're underwater. Various under events could happen that would compromise the structural spaces like this underground. You've seen plenty of evidence of it as you've moved forward. But
Can I go? Sorry.
But yeah, you think that these crystals be a cool material to work with.
Can I go up to one of those crystals and have I maybe seen something like that before? You know, being at a underwater cavern thing right now.
Underwater squat.
How good am I at
Make a
sketching?
history check.
Can I like sketch a picture of it?
Oh, 17.
17. You
Yeah.
have seen
A natural
something.
18. Mine is the one.
You have seen something like this before.
Huh.
Not in person. You've seen a sort of illusion that somebody had made, and it was in like a history class or something, and they were talking about the. Oh, you remember what it was? It was to do with the poem that you were telling the group about.
Oh.
Oh, I've seen these before. Like these crystal
fact-
things.
Looks really familiar.
They look really familiar.
Wait, no, it couldn't be, right? Like that would be such a weird coincidence. That I think that cave that you learned about in school is the cave that you're right now.
No way. That would be really weird.
That would be super weird, right?
Yeah.
Niggling feeling at the back of your mind. You're not sure.
I don't know what that cave was about though. But
Hard
like
to recall. You remember it was tied to the poem, but you don't remember what the significance was. You were just like, at the time, you were like, "Ooh, cool crystals."
I am still very much cool.
Yeah, right. There's like, I'm sure there's like lore attached to this, or history, or there's something, but like pretty.
I turned to Michelangelo. I'm like, you remember that poem that I was reciting yesterday or whenever the frick it was?
Yeah.
When we were talking about when the world started and that shit.
I think I have the notes for that. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, when I learned about all that stuff in school, we learned about some cavern. I don't know exactly. I can't really exactly remember why we learned about it, but there was some cavern that had to do with it, and it had like crystals in it, and they made like an image of it, you know, as you do with the magic stuff that Bjorn also does, and looks kind of like this.
Interesting.
Yeah, just
That's
thought
weird.
someone with a brain should know.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
But like it's like super weird, and I don't think it is this, but like it could be, but super weird. Would be too much of a coincidence. We were talking about 2 days ago, and now we're here. Weird. Let's go.
Oh, I found the poem.
Is there any way I can make it like a sketch of this? Like,
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, go ahead.
All right.
When you say a sketch, I mean, this is Michelangelo we're talking about. Are you going to spend like 15 minutes sketching it in stone?
On a slab. Nah. I actually don't know. Do I even have like anything I could?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna have a look. It's a quick check of inventory. Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna just craft like one of the crystals out of stone.
Yeah, sure. Guys, I'll say that you guys spend about an hour just sort of like looking at the cave and everything, and Lance, you're like looking at different bits and going, because you're now like talking yourself into it that it is the cave.
Yeah.
And then you reach the point where you're just about decided that it is the cave, and then you're like, nah. And you talk yourself out of it again. You kind of go back and forth a couple of times.
Yeah.
Michelangelo's
Definitely.
chipping away with hammer and a nice bit of rock. And Rovan, Nephilim, what are you guys?
Chilling.
Yep.
Rovan, I would like to look around for like tracks of any sort. That's kind of what he would actually be
All
doing,
right, make
I
a
suppose.
survival check.
Can I help him?
Sure. You have advantage on your survival check.
$17.
17. You find some drag marks
Drag marks.
Mhm.
Okay.
leading from the entrance to this cavern to this path forwards. There's actually four additional entrances to the cavern. It's pretty large. It's like 100 feet across. There's the two that, like, the one you came out of, it's very obvious, and so is the other one because they kind of match. It's like somebody was, honestly, like, this whole way it's felt kind of weird. It's like somebody was just holding like a 40-foot by 20-foot plank of wood that just went through the stone and just shoved it out the other side, and it's all, and like the unevenness and the places where it's tight, like that's happened over time because that initial like very geometric shape has eroded and the ceilings collapsed in at places. Stalactites and stalagmites have formed in various areas. Like it's been interacted with. Yeah, there's no easy way to tell how long ago that happened. But you do find some that you, now that you're in like a wider context, you can tell that there are drag marks going along the floor from the entrance that you came out of and to the entrance along, I assume.
Okay.
Can't really tell what. Like a 3-foot across cylindrical indentation. Sometimes splits into like one extra, something extra bit. Someone was dragging a sack.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep that information for now.
Sure.
I'm standing in one of the corners.
You and
and
Nephilim
muttering
know
to
that, like,
myself.
because he was helping you. So Rovan and Nephilim are aware of that. Lance, you're doing what?
I'm standing in one of the corners, muttering to myself. Like, this looks so familiar. This is so weird.
Yeah, you're
That
really
doesn't
trying to
look
cast your
familiar.
mind back now. You're like, why didn't I pay more attention? Not the first
School
time you've
was
thought
worth
that.
something. Damn,
That's a mood. So, what do you guys want to do? You want to go on your way? You want to investigate these other entrances? You want to sit here and build a little community and live there forever?
Yeah, let's make this our base.
Cool fucking base.
Can I look into one of the other entrances?
Sure.
Just look in it. Like, is my trident still lit up? No, it's been 8 hours and something.
I mean,
because we-
yeah, but you
Still
could.
again, though.
Nephilim could just be like throwing that shit at you. So
Yeah,
it's probably a
you make
reflex at this
stuff
point.
light
It
up and,
goes
like,
out and
Can
it's.
can you this time when you make it light up, like not make it pink, but like make it normal, like daylight normal, like sun colored.
Do you know what? I'm just gonna.
I'll make it pink.
Damn. Cool. Thanks. Are you some kind of weird colorblind because the sun? Never mind.
I
I'm
can't see
gonna-
a sun around here.
You've seen the sun before, though. It's not pink.
I'm
I'll
also
I'll
gonna.
change it.
Oh yeah, go
Go
on.
on.
I was
I'll
gonna
change
say
it to,
I'm
like,
also
yellow.
gonna cast light and just like throw it and just do like a completely different color as well. I'll make it green.
I'll make it pink again.
So like one end of the trident is pink and the other one's green.
They said it.
Are you
it
making
happened.
fun of me?
Wait. Michelangelo, I got an idea. All right. All right. Can I pick up like a rock? Right. I'll put it on the floor. All right. I'm gonna do red, and you're gonna do blue, and we're gonna make like a rave. Okay. I'll go red, and you go blue, and we'll make it flash.
Alright.
Me and Nephilim are just partying in the middle, making the light bounce off all of the crystals in different colors and stuff.
Can Bjorn make a sound illusion while this?
I do want to point out that it takes around 4 to 5 seconds to cast light.
Well,
It's not
Slower.
quite instantaneous. So
It'd be so fun though.
you'd need like 4 more people and then you could really get it strooping. Just do it like a round.
I'll
gonna
change the
take-
color of the trident back to like the sunlight colors as she so wants. As-
Oh.
Thank you.
I'll also do that.
Yeah.
Is it now double bright?
Yeah, no, it's
Can
really
that be a
bright.
thing?
Am I like now a beacon?
Can I
that's
like
just-
remove the
Sure.
light? That thing?
Yeah. I'll let you stack light to an extra 10 feet of radius.
Oh, there you go. You can see even further now.
Nice.
Genius.
I'm like holding it into one of the other entrances and just looking in there. Like,
All
can I
right, make a perception check.
oh boy. Don't fail me now. Well, 15.
15. Yeah, you can see about 30 feet down this tunnel. I mean, you could see nearly 100 feet with how bright your trident is right now, with like the light radius fall off and then dark vision on top of that. You get yeah, so you can see like 30 feet down this tunnel as it starts to curve around a bend, and you can see a boot.
There's a boot here. Excuse me, is there someone there or are you dead?
I mean, it's just a
Guys.
boot. You can see there's no person in. Like it's
Oh,
just.
I thought it was just the end of the boot around the
No,
corner.
no. It's just a boot. Where as it goes, as you go around the corner, there's just a boot lying
Oh.
there.
Guys, there's a boot here. There's
Cool.
someone lost it, I guess.
I don't think it's.
I'm gonna go in there and grab the boot.
Okay, you grab
Does
the
he-
boot and it teleports you to a.
Oh damn it! Wasn't
Yeah,
the
sorry,
key, I
it's a
should've
portkey the whole
known.
time. Turns out, guys, this is my
It
own Harry
teleports
Potter
me.
5e game. Currently in Neville's imagination. So
It teleports me to the
the dreadnought,
to the kid. Oh god, no! To the Quidditch. To the
the Quidditch World Cup.
uh,
Yeah.
World Cup. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Spoiler: you're the Death Eater.
Nice. No.
So you pick
no,
up the boot.
No.
You examine it. Pretty nice boot. Looks it's got that standard issue vibe about it.
Mm.
Quality. Definitely elven.
Wait, it's a standard issue quality Elven.
Yeah, I mean it's good quality compared to like what the average commoner would.
Yeah. Yo, guys, this is an Elven boot. Are you still
Everyone else is
listening to
doing
me?
their other shit. While you're just 30 feet down a tunnel.
Can I see more now? Can I see
Yeah, I mean,
another
to get to the boot, you had to be able to see around the corner. So looking around the corner, you see a very similar site. The tunnel continues for about 15 feet before it curves around again, and in there.
one? Weird. I'm gonna go back.
Okay.
I'm holding the boot.
Sure, you're holding
The
the
other
boot.
hand is a trident.
No worries.
I'm like, I found this boot.
Just one boot.
I couldn't find the other one. I didn't want to go in there myself because I'm kind of afraid of all the shit that's maybe down here.
Yeah, looking at the boot a little bit more, you can see that like the ties are snapped in places. It looks like probably just came off while somebody was running or something. You don't really know. It's kind of weird. There's just a boot.
It's kind of weird that it's just a boot, guys.
It's not a disembodied foot in there.
It's
Guys, I
kinda
think I
weird.
found something.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Says Lil Bjorn from.
Did you
off
find
the
the other
side,
boot?
Where he.
Because
No, he
I'm
made a
looking for it.
22 investigation check on this
Ooh.
larger crystal formation that's poking out of the wall on the right hand side. There's some kind of inscription in here.
I'm going over with my stuff.
I'm
That's
also.
freaking lit up.
I think we're collecting by Bjorn.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone collects by Bjorn, and when he points it out to you, he's kind of stretching up and sort of pointing inside. I can't quite make out the words. The light's refracting.
Oh wait, can I
So
angle
you-
my stuff so that it's easier to
Yeah,
read?
sure. You blind yourself with your stuff as it all reflects off the crystal, but then you get used to it, and you can kind of see in, and you can see there's some kind of a marking or like maybe a line of text. What languages do you speak?
Common, Elvish, and Primordial.
You can't read it.
Yeah, I can't read that. I don't know what that is. Who knows languages? Everybody try to read this.
I'll have a go.
I'm trying to hold the. It's really bright in the eyes, but you gotta work through that to actually read it.
I'm Dwarvish and Giant and Common.
You can't read it either.
Okay.
Celestial, Draconic, Elvish.
Can't read it
The
either.
language is that okay?
Celestial, Common, and French. I'm kidding. I can't speak French.
None of you can read it, I'm afraid.
Fuck. Yo, Bjorn, do you have something to translate that?
Google us, translate us.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah, and none of you actually even recognize the letters. You don't even recognizing the
Freaking
characters it's written in.
Can somebody
What
just like
hieroglyphs?
copy it so we have it?
Sure, you can do that.
Somebody who's maybe really good at performance or something like that. I don't know.
Oh, I'm good at performance. I can do it.
I can help you. I can angle like the light perfectly, so I can get all of it. Would
Sure,
it
can I
make
try and-
if we put paper on it? Would it show up on the paper if we angle the light perfectly, so we can actually trace it?
Lightbox it.
No, because
Trace
you
it.
can't. Like, if this was just like a sheet of crystal, sure, but it's not. You're like peering into something that seems to have been carved within the crystal, possibly when it was being formed. It's kind of hard to
Weird.
understand how
Okay.
it got there.
Can I try and note it
Sure,
down?
make a dexterity performance.
I'm gonna help him.
Are you proficient in
advantage?
performance?
No.
Oh.
You're not. Yeah, you can't help.
Damn.
Nephilim, are you proficient in performance?
I am.
Okay, so add your proficiency bonus to your dex bonus, and roll a d20.
My proficiency bonus to. Aha. Oh, my. 14 plus 2 plus 2? No, wait. Plus 3 plus 2? Is that how that
Okay,
works?
so
16
19.
plus 19.
You make a pretty good copy of it,
Yeah.
and you all look around, and Michelangelo, you look at it, and you're like, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. You're muted, Michelangelo.
Not saying anything.
It was just lip smacks with no sound. All right. So, yeah. You guys want to do?
Continue.
Yeah, let's continue. Cool.
So you continue on your path, traveling for the rest of the day. There's no sort of significant changes. You are popping into these little caverns. None of them with as impressive crystals, but still like some. You continue on your way even further, and eventually you come to the same choice that you had the night before. You can sleep in a side tunnel or on the main path, or you could backtrack to one of the caverns. What do you guys want to do? Like, you're coming up to the point where you're all starting to get tired again. The way's been a little bit easier. It's a little bit flatter now. You're still going down a lot, but there's no sharp cliffs. It seems that this is a more meandering path.
Hmm. I think we should go back to one of the caverns because of space.
Well, if we go into the crystal cavern, there's 4 different ways that people can get in there.
Oh, you guys are like 4 hours past that now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You guys walked like for another
Sorry.
4 hours after that. Like you're coming to the
Yeah,
end of the
okay.
day now.
Yeah, let's get into one of the caverns that I didn't really see
Like
because I
we
didn't pay
passed.
attention because I got 9 passive perception.
Yeah, so you just trace your steps back. It's like 20 minutes walk. Like it's probably better than like continuing on and then maybe not finding somewhere better. So you set up shop in there. Bjorn does his thing with the dome.
Nice.
Does anyone wanna?
Yeah, you post in watches. What's that?
Yeah. I feel more comfortable when we have at least some people watching out for us,
All right, who would
Yeah.
like to take first
I
one?
guess.
I'll take first watch.
I will
Okay.
take last watch.
Can I
Actually,
workshop again? The Watcher's workshop.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Real quick before you go, Michelangelo. If I were to try to do some yoga, would you like be able to help me with that? Like guide me through it? Some little
Sure.
guidance stuff?
I could help with that. I think.
Cool.
So guidance lasts for a minute and applies to
Yeah.
checks, not saves.
Goddamn. Oh, it's a save. I always forget. I always think it's a check. Well,
No,
never
that's
mind.
resistance.
Go into your workshop.
Resistance
It's
is
fine.
saves. That's why there's 2
Yeah.
of them.
Okay. Never mind.
All right.
I
Can
was
you help me
being
do yoga though?
All right.
Doesn't even get me anything to do that anymore because I got good stuff. I feel like, man.
Yeah, you want to do the yoga? Is that what you're?
I'm really afraid to roll that shitty again.
Okay, well, make your Constitution save.
Oh no.
10.
Oh no, I don't know which die to use. Oh no. I don't
Middle one.
wanna. I got no middle one because I got like 8 die. No. No, I rolled a natural 6 plus 8. So
Better than the last one.
14. And not good enough. It's not good enough. Nah. Stupid thing.
Who's taking
Never
first
mind.
watch?
Me.
Uh,
I said. Oh no, Rovin said he was taking first watch. I was taking last watch.
sure.
Yeah, I said I'll take first watch.
So we need one person in between.
That'll be me. I won't go into the workshop until Rovan done.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so whoever's taking first watch, because I was not paying attention.
Wherever.
That make your perception
22.
check. 22.
Meow.
And are you actively taking a watch, or is this why you're trancing?
I'll be actively taking this watch.
So 22 then. You do notice that during the time when you're asleep, you've kind of lost track of whether this is like daytime or nighttime. Nobody really has any idea how many days you've been underground at this point. But you do notice that there's spiders going
Have
whatever
they all
reason.
They all been traveling in a particular direction.
Not always. There's been particular moments where you've noticed that there just seems to be like a small stream, and then they're gone. And then, a couple of hours later, you'll see spiders doing other shit, being on the walls and hanging out and whatever, like, smoking weed on the side of the corner, but then there'll be that like spiders that are just kind of sat in a web will start like moving, and then you'll notice that they're joining others, and then same kind of direction that you're heading, but sometimes they'll go down like a side tunnel. Largely general direction that you...
Okay. Yeah. In the morning, I'll probably talk to everyone about it.
Sure. Who is taking the next?
Me.
Go and take the next watch.
All right. So bang opens the workshop.
Hey, that's pretty watch.
All right. That is a 18.
With advantage?
No. That is a 28.
Wow!
Holy shit.
Let's
Is that
go.
a 19 or a...
Yeah, that's a 19.
Nice. Nice. All right. So I will say that with that, you definitely notice that everywhere within the sphere of your awareness, at pretty regular intervals, if there are any arachnids in that sphere, they'll move in the same. And then they'll stop. They've moved. And then they'll move again. And then after a while, there'll be a larger interval where they move for a lot longer. And then that's when usually they leave your influence when that happens. But you notice this kind of same pattern of movement all the way through.
Cool. That's got to be such a weird sensation.
Oh yeah, it's super
Yeah.
weird, man. It's
You know?
super weird. It's like, imagine being in a library and you can see, and you're stood in front of a big wall of bookshelves there. And you just see like a bunch of the books on a shelf just go to the side.
It'll just every time.
And you know, sometimes it happens like gradually as well. Like you look up and like the books have moved, and then other times you're just like paying attention to a specific one, and like that's kind of strange. Everything's going in the same direction. You're not really sure why. The weirder part about it is that it's super obvious that it's one specific direction in the workshop.
Okay.
Make an intelligence check for me.
All right. All right. That is 11. Nothing. I just.
Not really sure what any of this means.
Okay. That's my watch.
Yeah, I'm working up. It's fine. No. 9.
You don't notice anything, Lance.
I'm really tired. Oh, food.
You just comfort your way, eat your way through to the everybody else starting to rouse and wake up. And starting to miss the sky like real bad now.
No. Let's go. I want to get up to the sky again. I miss it. Getting claustrophobic in here. Even though the ceiling is really high, but still. There's no sun.
Ceiling's
no
only 40
water.
feet. I mean, I wouldn't say it's really high. Like, it's still
I mean,
a
for,
very
like,
abrupt stop. You know?
Room-like feeling, it's pretty high.
I mean, sure, but like, you never get that feeling where you're cooped up inside and you're just like, I just gotta go outside for a minute.
No. No. Not really.
Fair enough.
I'm I'm a hobbit. In case you didn't notice.
You'd probably want to open the blinds if they were shut the whole time, though, wouldn't you? So there's not been any natural light sources for a while, and you really
Yeah.
like SAD is a thing that happens. None of you are.
I need my vitamin D.
None of you are the word subterranean dwelling races. So the closest is Michelangelo, who grew up underground. You're actually pretty comfortable, but the watchtower's not underground.
Mm.
Not like it reminds you of childhood, but you also grew up in a dwarf city, which is like essentially the same as not being underground in many ways. So yeah, it's you're definitely fine with the space as well because you're used to being cramped in smaller. Nobody builds houses with Goliaths in mind. It's very annoying. You pretty much have to rule a country or a city or something to get a room big, to get a house that's proportional to a Goliath. So,
Okay.
what do you
Let's
guys
go.
want to do? You going to continue on your way?
Yeah. I guess.
Before we go, I did notice something last night that I feel like is worth mentioning.
The spiders, right?
The spiders, indeed.
What spiders? What?
Every so often, spiders would pass by and they'd all be traveling in the same direction. And that direction is deeper down, seemingly the same way we're going.
Maybe there's something really cool there. Who knows?
It's strange though. It's a spider kind of just it does its own thing. It builds webs. It looks for good places to catch, some other bugs. They're not social. This is not ants. They don't all travel in the same direction. They don't.
Right.
Something has to be controlling them. There's something else influencing them.
You think something is like working like a homing beacon for spiders?
Well,
Like, get here, get down here.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think
my
It's pretty weird.
I mean, my magic, if you could call it that, is more sourced from nature, similar to a druid, and potentially someone like that may have a way to influence arachnids.
possibly. Can
you speak with them, Rovan? Like, you speak to your panther, right?
Yeah,
That's a brilliant idea.
except when I speak to the animals, you got to remember their intelligence level impacts that. So speaking, you saw me shouting on that beach or what months ago at the seagulls. Yeah, they were useless because they're not very smart.
I don't know if they might tell you something though.
But like, spiders seem very smart to me with their webs and their catching flies and stuff.
They might say something of
Maybe to you, Lance,
mentality.
but that's your own special case.
Are you insulting me?
No,
I'm not
you're an
dumb.
autist. I mean, not artist. Artist, absolute artist. The way you move that trident. Yeah, maybe I'll try and communicate with them.
You never know. They might.
It's worth a shot.
They might say something of a horde nature or like a zombie-like nature. Like if they were possessed, they might just say they'll all say the same thing.
Brains.
It could give us a little bit of insight.
If they were to say that, we know that we'd like fucking turn around, go back and tell Zalaria, fuck nope.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
as
I'm
well.
afraid that this was entirely infested with undead nope, and I'm out.
Yeah. It's bad enough that it's spiders, but like undead spiders? Hell no.
Undead spiders.
Yeah, you just want to sink the city. That's the only solution here.
Yes. Flood it, flood it all.
Yeah, just get rid of it. Get rid of it.
It's a good point, though. We haven't used the sending stone in a little while. So, maybe they might have some information on this kind of thing.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I used the sending stone. Take it out, and I'm like, Zelaria.
Wait, let Roman.
Okay.
Only got a certain amount of words. I swear.
Let Roman talk to the spiders first. Come on
Yeah.
now.
No, I thought you wanted to hear if she had anything to, say about this.
Let's see what we
No,
can.
it's okay. We can talk to the spiders first. How often does it work? Just once per day? 3 times per day? I didn't
3
write
times a
it down.
day, and it's like a limit of 20 words.
20
something like that.
words or something like that. 20, 25.
You did 25 words.
Are we gonna get
25
punished
words
not
for the
remembering
sending spell.
Okay. 20.
Okay.
And it's
You
3
never get
times a day.
punished, you just have consequences.
It's a punishment. Okay, well, yeah. I got
How
Okay.
drunk, by the way.
long was the spiders seem to be moving all in the same direction before going back to their normal activity when it was happening?
When you go to cast the spell that there is nobody bearing the other stone right
Me?
now. When you go to try and send a message, the stone,
Oh, yeah, I tried. True.
the stone, it doesn't work.
Guys, I think this thing is broken. It did. Like, I tried to send a message and it didn't go through.
Bjorn?
Help.
By the way, guys, I can't remember. Did I give you a different number of uses, or is it once per day?
I'm pretty sure it's 3
It's
times.
a 3
Okay.
times per day, I think.
I
yeah.
just for my.
Okay, well, got no way to communicate at the moment. Maybe, she's busy. So,
Yeah, if only you
kind
knew
of
someone
worried
who
now.
had who knew sending.
Do we have
Anyway.
another way to check on her?
Can I learn how to scry next? That'd be great.
Yeah,
Can we scry?
No.
All you'll need to
That's-
do is next level take a different class, and then keep taking that class to level 16, and then you'll be able. Oh, sorry, level 18, and then you'll be able to scry.
I think that'd be useful, guys. I think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, Michelangelo, can you scry? Is that something you can do?
I don't think it's in my pool of spells.
You're aware of scrying.
You're
It's
just too weak.
yeah, you're not there yet.
Sorry. Damn.
Anyway, Rovan, do you want to try and communicate with spiders?
Yep. How long, does this trance with the spiders last when they're walking in the same direction?
It varies. There's
It
been no
varies.
consistent like.
Longest time has been like what?
It's been much harder for you to pick up than it has been for Michelangelo. Because
Okay.
Michelangelo had 2 nights in a row where he was getting
Aware
this
of it.
sensation. Like you're
Yeah.
just like visually, oh, I see some spiders moving kind of in a group. That's weird. But
Okay.
he's feeling an entire 30-foot radius sphere around wherever the portal workshop is. He's feeling
the
all
spiders.
the flow of life in that.
That must be
Okay.
When we
well-
travel today, can I keep an
It's
eye out,
super fucking
especially if I
weird,
see any
I'll tell you that.
spiders?
Yeah, if I see a group doing something, a group
Yeah.
of spiders, then I'll attempt to speak with them.
Okay, sure.
All right.
What did you say, Lance?
I just wanted to say that while we're traveling, I want to keep my eye out for any spiders we see.
Sure. You're all on spider watch.
Yeah.
Do-do-do.
Little special extra care.
Budget Overwatch.
Okay.
Spider Watch 2.
I want to keep an eye out for any beetles.
Okay. Ah. So you guys continuing on?
Let's go.
So you continue following the path that you. After about 5 hours traveling down there, Rovan, you notice the spiders doing. Well, actually,
No.
Michelangelo notices and tells you.
I will cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
Where are you going?
They
the first
ignore
thing.
you,
They
but you
ignore
can
me.
hear them muttering,
Okay.
and it's along the lines. Sir, mistress,
I'm gonna say that out in common,
mistress.
repeating what they're saying and letting the group know. I'm gonna
This
kind of
way,
keep.
this way, this way, this way, this way. Sir,
I don't
sir,
like this.
this way, this, sir. This way, mistress.
Hmm.
No! No! Sure. Yeah. What are they
You
saying?
okay?
I didn't like.
You okay there, Lance?
Yeah, that was
Ruby.
out of game. That was out of game. Shelly being like, "Fuck no!"
What are they saying,
That
Ruby?
was fine.
I translated all of that up into common, like play by play.
What was the last thing it said?
Love, I believe.
Was it love?
I think it was lolf.
Lol.
Guys, lolf.
What does that mean?
Lols.
Lolf
Lol.
is a pretty creepy fucking goddess.
You guys know about Lolth?
Okay. She's
It's no,
deity.
it's a name that Zaxxas.
That
Okay.
If you recall, you learnt about the drow splitting away from the elves,
Oh, this is not going to be fun.
and that was in reaction to. That was because of the
Yes.
actions of a deity called Zaxxas that convinced the drow to worship. Lolth was. It's not quite
Well,
Forbidden Realms
that's-
canon, Shelley. I'm just throwing that out there, alright?
hey,
But it
the
also sounds super cool, right?
completely
In that situation, the best.
true.
Mhm.
Damn, still a pretty freaky goddess,
Yeah.
goddess thing.
Dunno.
Whatever.
Giant spider queen.
That was some of the imagery that was used. I mean, that it suits the drow's nature. That was very targeted marketing campaign. I know. I mean, you laugh, but it really was. Highly successful. Great ROI. So discussions of Zaxxas' EBITDA aside, what would you guys like to do? Continue on your way? Or do you want to run screaming from the caverns, calling for help?
Sending stone didn't work.
Well, that was 5 hours ago.
Oh, let's try it again.
Alright, I take out the sending stone and I'm saying, oh no. This is Lance. We found freaky spiders. They're going down.
Yelling timber.
They talk about Loth.
Please respond.
Please respond to this message.
You got to this.
That works.
Please respond to this.
Yep.
Lance, that seems very concerning. I would be very careful of any drow influences working. not hesitate to call again.
Where were you earlier? What the fuck?
You want to send a message?
Nope. That was
Oh.
just me shouting at the stone, being like, "What the fuck?"
So, Lance, you relay that message to the group.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
She said it's very concerning and we should be like really careful of any drow influences working in our, general area down here. Whatever the fuck that means.
Out of character. Yeah. What? Wait. Do we know what drow is? Or
Yeah,
not?
that's a
Yeah.
dark elf.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're aware
Okay,
of drow.
all right.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, they live
it's dark-skinned
underground.
drow. They dislike sunlight. They all moved underground after the split with the rest of the elfish.
After a
Nephlim's been
pretty
particularly
successful,
they-
highly targeted marketing
Museum.
campaign.
Yeah, exactly. There are still some drow around, but they're generally distrusted because is the same way that immigrants are sometimes cast in a poor light.
Okay.
They're just
Lumped
misunderstood.
in with the few. Yeah, well, the few get lumped in with them.
Like,
The many were assholes for a long time, so it's not quite the same.
Are the drow considered fae?
No,
No. Okay.
They're
that would
just
be the
elves.
Eladrin, which is a different
Okay.
Aladdin.
Eladrin. You've never met an Eladrin,
Aladdin,
Rovan, and
yes.
you're the only person who is likely to have. So
Magic carpets and shit. Sounds cool.
I mean, magic carpets exist.
Should we?
I want one so bad.
I'll spend more time in shops.
Or in towers that we then collapse and steal carpets out of.
We never have had the full story of that, but I look forward to that episode of the animated series.
Very much so.
So, guys, just continuing on your way. Another message.
Let's be stealthy today.
Everybody make stealth check.
And
will-
keep an eye out for anything drow,
Uh,
anything
who-
that looks like it's
Who wants
men
a
or elven
blessing
made.
of the trickster? Who wants to be extra stealthy today? Or for like the next hour
I
or
don't
something?
need it.
You
Can
guys
do it
have.
yourself?
It's a pretty high dex party. I think you're the person who needs it the most, and you can't give it
I
to
can't
yourself.
bless. Yeah, unfortunately.
Oy vey.
I think, can you blessing of the trickster yourself? I think so, right?
No, you can't. You can't.
No?
Yeah, it specifically says other
Well,
than
who's
yourself.
the least good at that
Bjorn?
out of...
Probably
us
not
then?
Bjorn.
Okay. Well, forget it. I'm just gonna make a lot of noise. Don't mind me, guys.
I mean, if it, just give it to me if it
Alright.
doesn't matter. If it, you just have it.
Nephilim could use it the most.
Wait, what?
I thought he has
I give it to
the
Niv.
highest stealth.
He does.
So
But
What?
he is the no, his stealth is lower than oh no, Bjorn or Rovan could use it more. Sorry, Bjorn could use Nephilim, but only by 2.
You
Okay,
can give
well,
it to me if you want.
By 2?
I'm just gonna.
What kind of stealth do you all have?
Nephilim's not the most dexy person in the world.
Why? How?
What do you mean? I got plus.
One?
Nephilim, you've got a lot of good stats. You just don't have any great ones.
Yeah.
Hence the multi-class, right?
Well, I got 3 great ones, and the rest are pretty bad now.
So, everybody make stealth checks. What'd you get?
Okay. So wait, who am I giving this
Am
to?
I-
Bjorn?
Are you giving it to
Bjorn.
me
Yeah,
or-
to
Oh.
Bjorn.
Okay.
That helped. He got 1 better because of that.
Nice. Oh,
I got 15.
You got
18.
15.
Wow, I got 16. That's like super good.
What armor are you wearing?
Me?
We had that before, right?
Wait, who? armor?
You.
Oh no, you're
Because
not
you're-
wearing your scale mail.
No.
Oh, you got a breastplate. You bought a breastplate.
Yeah.
That's what happened. So, yeah, nice.
16 from me.
So 16
And your
from you,
panther?
bro.
Ah.
Yeah, that's something you have to consider now. It's a person that's with the party.
26.
Damn.
All right, so yeah, you
It's
guys
a group check, and the Panther just makes it so we make it. MVP Panther. Panther without a name.
So
Minxie.
Young Pant.
YP.
YP.
YP. I'm calling the panther YP from now.
YP?
Yeah, young
A
panther
name
YP.
comes from worldly
Oh.
experience. You don't just
I thought
give
we
them
were
for
making
free.
Star Wars jokes. I was partial to Obi Panther Nobi. Okay.
I thought CYPO was pretty good, but not as good as that.
That was pretty good. Yeah, let's venture onwards, shall we?
Yeah, so you guys continue on. You've been traveling for about 5 hours so far today when this all occurred, and you guys took like a break. And shortly after this, about an hour, you pop out of this carved area into a very similar staircase to the one that you were previously on. Again, these large, that I think 30 feet high. And you're beginning to have to navigate those. And you do so. Rest of the I guess you make
when
camp
it
and
gets
then
to the camping time around ish.
people are starting to feel a bit more tired. Bjorn keeps sitting down and having to tell him to hurry up.
I'll stick him on the back of the panther.
Can we see like a cavern or like another like small pathway that goes away from the
Less so
main
in
thing?
this kind of like you can see holes into this space, but it's much taller, it's much wider, it's just generally like larger space anyway. If you recall, there out of a space similar to this was a tower that had a giant staircase in it that you all went down. Like it's very similar to the first kind of.
Yeah. Let's try to find like a little alcove or something like we can put the dome against and then.
Yeah, I
make
mean
the
you can
dome.
tuck it into a corner next to a cliff, same as you did before.
Yeah, make the dome.
The first time you did the dome.
colored.
Bjorn is gonna his arcane motions and get his book out. Cast the dome. Guys all go to sleep. I'll just
So
have
second
one
watch.
person make a perception check for the night.
Yep.
Michelangelo.
should
Yeah,
do-
you can
I
just make
totally
a
should
you
do
could
it.
just make one perception check, just a straight roll, just for the whole night for everything with your flippin' workshop of doom.
Oh, Doom.
Meanwhile, at the workshop of doom.
Alright, with advantage? Or no?
No, just a straight roll. Just for the whole night and everything. I'll just like just for the group, not necessarily Michelangelo specifically.
Well, this night, ass. I rolled a 1, natural 1, so that's
Okay.
10.
Sure.
Alright.
You're preoccupied with the whole spider thing. That shit's still happening. And you realize, in fact, with that check, would you? No, you don't realize anything. Sorry, really teased it, and then I kind of changed my mind at the last second because I was like, it was a 1. I don't know if I'm gonna give you a
Now I want there to be
freebie on
free
that.
watches.
Only Michelangelo could have noticed what I was about to say anyway.
Rip advantage.
So the night passes. Other than the 2 earth elementals you saw, you guys aren't really noticing that much wildlife. Michelangelo, you're very aware that there's a lot of wildlife around you. You're also very aware that it's mostly giving you guys a birth. You aren't the most subtle party in the world, even when you're moving relatively stealthily. Yeah, your consciousness the next day. You've now been underground for, is it 5 days, I think?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the 5th day of being. So 4 nights, 4 rests. Lance, are you going to be doing any yoga?
I think I'm good for now.
All right.
I don't want to lose more. It's
So
bad enough as it is.
So you lose the +1 AC bonus.
Oh, I have to do that the whole time, right?
You have to do
Okay,
that
I'm gonna
get
do
the-
it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, so you do you do the yoga, make your con save.
Oh god.
Let's go.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty
Ha-ha.
20. Hey.
Cash money.
Let's
First roll apart from my stealth that was above a 10, I think.
Okay. Cool. Good to know.
Cool.
So, you guys come to consciousness. You look at the stairs descending down ahead of you. It's gonna be a long day. Climbing down is way harder than climbing up. Does anyone have anything they want to do before we set off?
Can I in the evening use the sending stone again?
Sure.
I want to be like, yo. No incidents so far. We're being really careful. If you can find out anything, that would be really helpful. Thanks.
All right. Okay, could you actually just say the message again? I was concentrating on counting the words.
I was counting in my hands.
So
I
was
was
I.
saying, yo.
Just like, yo, there's been no instance yet.
Yeah.
We've been being careful.
Yeah.
Can you find out any information that would be helpful or something like that?
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's the gist. I didn't do it in the word count, probably.
As we said, the most recent intelligence we had, you already have. Everything we've learnt since then.
Okay.
I can use it 3 times a
Don't
day.
go
and we're going
near
to
the
sleep
spiders.
anyway.
Don't go near the spiders. That's the advice.
So she said, "Don't go near the spiders." She doesn't have any other advice for us.
I feel like we're gonna have to go near the spiders.
Let's rather not go near the spiders. She seems pretty passive aggressive too. I don't know what I did to her. Well, I mean, I insulted her really badly when I first met her, but like, she's cool otherwise. I mean, I don't know why she's being so passive aggressive the whole time.
You should just stay at that speed all the time. I guess we just keep going there.
Is there anything I would kind of know about the spiders we've been seeing? Like, if you approached them when they were normal, like not under the influence, would I know anything about them?
Make a nature check.
Or, maybe if they're poisonous, that's also useful.
I mean,
I
they
prefer
tend
that
to be
information.
venomous. You don't want to eat them.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about eating them. Don't worry.
Because poisonous and venomous? Never mind.
Yeah, venomous is something that happens to you, and poisonous is something that you do to yourself by eating.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Well, venomous is what I'm curious about. Then.
I rolled a 14.
14.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Spiders, man. Like, you've never really taken, like, your focus has been large cats and dragons. It's not exactly, not really comparable, you know?
That's something
Okay.
you studied yet. You gonna learn today?
Yeah, it seems we are.
Let's be real stealthy again, guys, when we go in.
Alright.
Like,
Yeah.
really quiet.
Everyone makes stealth checks, including the panther. Bjorn's gonna ask Michelangelo for blessings.
You've been blessed.
That's really
Bjorn,
good, because he rolled a 3 the first time.
I rolled
Now
a
it's
fucking
a
6. So 11.
Oh, 14.
Why am I not stealthy right now? The fuck's happened?
I'm stealthier than you.
Because you're a sorcerer now. Sorcerers aren't
Yeah.
supposed to be stealthy. It's not like they have a
I'm a
whole
stealthy
subclass
sorcerer.
around that.
Okay. I rolled a 24 for 29 panther.
All
So we're
right.
just gonna disappear.
Lance?
17.
And what did Michelangelo get? I've forgotten.
14.
Well, everyone got above a 10. It's good. You continue on your way. I think you're being pretty stealthy. Fucking Rovan and that panther are just gone, yo. Like, you keep going, shit, we've lost Rovan, and he's like, I'm right here, guys.
Yeah.
You're all on a little bit of... You're on edge a little bit.
Oh, damn it. I wanted to play games with Bjorn. Because the panther's very stealthy right now. Just sneak up on him. Yeah.
He's getting a little bit more comfortable with the panther now that he's like getting to ride it a lot. So I think it's probably that the panther's trying its best to be very stealthy while there's a halfling on its back a lot of the time. But yeah, you guys, especially with the cliffs as well, the panther's far more able to navigate these drops than Bjorn is. So you can continue on your way for another couple of hours. You climb down one of the cliffs to find sound of running water up ahead. And about half an hour later, you come to this water cascading out of a hole high up in the wall, down into this sort of trench that, and there's various boulders lining it. There's and then it disappears into a hole in the wall on the far side. It's these boulders that are lining where this water gushes past. It's moving very fast, and these boulders are about 10 foot high, and there's about a 20-foot across. Oh, unless you want to climb up and. Guys, what you.
Sorry,
And
can
to
you just
give
say
you
again?
an idea of what it looks like.
Never mind. Oh, I see. Hey, water! Does it smell? Does it smell like seawater, or does it smell like, you know?
Make a
Smells
perception
salty.
check. Pretty stale. Isn't it?
Like, yeah, 16.
Getting a little bit of brine.
I'm gonna try to climb up there and taste it. Stick my head in it and look around.
Okay, so you
'Cause
climb up over the rocks.
I'm
Easy
like,
enough to do.
water!
Taking your time. You're not under pressure or anything. And you stick your head under the water.
Can I see anything? This is just stones. How deep is it?
It's like 20 feet. It's pretty deep. Kind of like this water's just been getting down and just carving this trench across. And like all of these rocks look smaller than the hole it's coming out of. Like these rocks that are kind of forming this like almost like canal around it are smaller than the hole it came out of. And you're no stranger to how water moves around. You're like, yeah, this seems like these have been like carried by the water out and then deposited and it helped form the bed. And it just kind of cascades off. At this point as well, now that you're up here and looking across, it's a pretty sheer drop on the other side, and the walls kind of, and you can see that this water is just kind of falling into like it was kind of hard to tell because of the way that like stuff, but there's essentially no wall on the other side, and you could it like hooked around, and there's just this kind of open chasm cavernous space. Like it's so big that there aren't actually echoes happening, and the water's just kind
Oh God.
you get the impression that it might be a little bit more challenging to climb around the exit that where the water's lead would have been otherwise. And also, you're pretty sure that you don't want to like get caught in this current, because even like sticking your head in and bracing yourself, and with your strength, it was still like you could feel your cheek filling up and yeah, exactly.
Nice. All right. I'm climbing down again, and I'm like, well, it goes down pretty steep. So
On which side does it go down steep, Lance?
it's the
As you're looking at it, it's the
here
left
where
side.
it goes.
Okay.
And the other side looked, you
Yeah,
couldn't really see past this point, which gives the impression that it's also kind of a.
Yeah. So let's be real careful. I don't know how we are going to get down there.
That flow looks too fast for us to try and cross.
Definitely. Not a.
You could try.
Yes. And die.
You can always try.
Oh, there's a on the map. This right is where it goes down also.
No,
Or is that a way that just goes here?
Yeah, I mean, this is a map that I've multi-purposed for like a couple of different things in this environment, so it's not like a perfect representation. It's just to give you guys an idea. So essentially,
so
the
there's
wall,
nothing here.
Yeah, the wall just continues as normal up to about here, and then this kind of whole area. What it looks like is this water was previously like, started coming out of this hole and running along the floor and hitting the wall, and then over time it's buried a hole into the wall, and then that's caused parts of the wall to collapse, and like essentially this corner here was just much more like structurally rigid in order to like stand that, whereas it was looser on the other side and it all kind of fell away by the look.
But is the normal way going on here, or
hard to tell with the angle? Like this side's a little bit higher than the other side. You'll need to get across there and up and over the rocks to have a look.
Wow.
Can I see if there's any tracks of what other things may have done here?
Sure, make a survival check.
A magic carpet would be sweet right now.
16.
16. So you're looking around for tracks, and you can't really see any right here. Like not tracks per se, but you do find a couple of like points in the stone in the wall over in this kind of area where it looks like people have like hammered pythons in or something.
Okay. Could I attempt to potentially try and climb up that way? Is it clear that there's like a? You said it doesn't really accurately represent where.
Yeah,
we're,
it doesn't. It
see
doesn't.
how there's a shelf
It's
there.
like a 30-foot waterfall, is what's happening. So you'd have to get all the way up and over the top of the waterfall if that was what you wanted to do. So it'd be like a 30-foot climb, again up like wet, slippery rock, or like a 30-foot climb somewhere else and then across at 30 foot up.
Is
Like,
there a
It
ceiling?
looks like
There is a ceiling, but in this area, it's like, a good 80 to 100 feet above you.
Okay.
It's a very
tell-
open space.
tell the group about people who have clearly tried to climb there in the past. And say, do we want to try and climb? Anyone up for a climb?
I'd be up to climb. Yeah,
I don't like climbing.
I'm good at climbing actually. Do you want to see? What do you want to see? Like, do you want to go up this side or this side? Oh, this
Yeah.
side just goes down, right?
Yeah,
So
like
this
go
side-
up.
And then see what's down here, basically, like here.
I
Use
see.
that general high ground as like try and
Yeah.
get as much of a view of what we can see. If you say you're good at
Okay.
climbing, Lance,
Yeah.
potentially we should find some drier rock and you could attempt the climb.
Sure.
You'll stay at the bottom, or would you like someone to come with you?
No, I'm fine by myself. That's okay.
Sweet.
I'm probably the one who's least likely to hurt themselves. So
Mm.
I'll do it. I'm gonna try to find an area on this side where the rock is like mostly dry as I can find it.
Did anyone learn the spell from when we fell out of that sky pod
For the fall. No.
that wizard used? Was it a wizard? The elf dude, dodgy guy, with his.
He was
wand.
so dodgy.
For the fall.
Yeah.
And
Etrian.
no.
Yeah.
Did anyone
No.
grab
No.
that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you've got no contingency plan. Let's go for it.
Sure. I'm trying to find somewhere where it's mostly dry as I can find it and still climb
We
up.
can
and
attempt
then
to catch her if she drops.
On which side? On this side, or what do you
on this side to get some high ground to look maybe down.
Sure, I
here
mean,
over
yeah, I
the
mean, there's
wall
a
and stuff.
whole, like, the whole way you've come back is dry rock. Like, you just need to move further away, and then you climb up, no problem.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, then I'm gonna just.
You
try
just climb
to
up
do
out of the
something.
range of the spray of the water, and then so you're gonna climb 30 feet up. What
Yeah.
are you doing? Going across and looking inside? Is that what's happening?
I just firstly want to look across and see if I can see what's over here because I couldn't before.
Okay, well, you had to move pretty far back, so you can't make out that much still because you're like further away, and your
Oh,
dark
I will
vision
try
has
to get
limits.
a little closer.
Okay, so you're gonna start moving along sort of this area, kind of thing.
Sure, I try to
Like
get
you climb
like
up
above
like
where
here,
it's like
and then
really.
you're going across. Yeah, you can totally manage
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna need a
Yeah.
couple of athletics checks though, just because this
Sure.
isn't the easiest climb in the world. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna need you to make one to like get yourself like halfway.
Yeah, that's a 15.
Okay, yeah, sure. And then I'm gonna need another one to make it the rest of the way.
Okay. I hate all my dice today. Ooh, 27.
Nice. So you get into a bit of a rhythm, and then it gets a little bit easier as you're going along, and you're like, wow, this yoga's really fucking helping. Like I should have been doing this my whole life. Do yoga, folks.
It's true.
So you get over there. What do you want to do? You wanna?
I want to look over what's here, and then I also want to look inside there.
Okay, make a
And-
perception check at disadvantage.
Oh, God damn it. Oh boy. 9.
Yeah, it's really hard to make anything out. It's like the perspective all seems totally wrong on the other.
I can't really
Like,
see anything.
because you lose
guys.
like a frame of reference that's so like essential to this area, like with the wall being missing on the other side, like it just becomes really difficult to like judge any kind of distance. It's all super gray and like far away, and you got like the water and this spraying everywhere. And sure, you can get on the other side of the water, but it's still like a lot of sensory input.
Do you
Mm.
shout down to us? You can't see anything, or
I'm like, I don't have to shout. You're right there. You're a little ways down.
And you do have to shout. It's fucking loud.
You
This
climb.
water is falling 30 foot super
Oh,
fast.
the water is.
This is
really
not a
loud.
quiet area, Lance.
No, I'm not. I'm not shouting. No way. No. If I can't see anything, I try to make my way onto the other side and climb down as far as I deem safe.
How far
I
do you
can
deem safe?
See. Well, I would probably, if I make it to this side, I can probably see what is directly below me, right?
All right, so you make it onto that side. I'm gonna need an athletics check to start climbing down.
Yeah. Oh. Ugh. 13. Why are my dice so bad? Oh my god.
So you make your way down, and you go down quite a way, and you do get to the floor, and you get to be able to see the floor. It's about twice as far down. It's like a 60 to 80 foot drop on the other side of this water. And I've got a thing that indicates the kind of like the step cliffs. But you don't really see any evidence of those, like, as far as you can see. Now you're on ground level, and you kind of got your frame of reference back, because the thing is, right, the reason it was so weird was because expecting it to be like a similar distance used to, and then it wasn't, and what was missing, all of your reference points were off. And
yeah.
And essentially it looks like there was a lot of water sliding down here, and it's started making this path much more steep, slippery. Like, you can see water, like, this isn't a perfect situation whatsoever. Like, water is flowing down on this floor. It's a little bit soggy. Your feet are sinking into the mud a little bit. You hop back on the wall.
Well.
You're like, shit, it's going to be way harder going after this.
Is there a big rock that I can see down there?
I mean, it's all big rock down here.
Can I take my rope
Yep.
and secure it real good around one of them?
Sure.
Them rocks. And then I want to take it and climb back up again and climb over.
How long is your rope?
I got 2 ropes. Each is 50 foot.
Okay, so it's going to be 80 foot to get up to the level of the water.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like another 20 foot to get above, like it's another 30 foot, sorry, to get above the waterfall. That's then 100 and run out of rope.
All right, then can I get here? How far across is it?
It's about 40 foot from like, this is like, it's like 10 foot across the actual water bit, but then it was with the like the up and the down and everything.
Sure. So it's 40 foot across, right? So I would take a rock that's up here.
Yeah. 40 foot rope that's attached to a rock on that side will reach to a rock on the other side. Just about.
I would still tie both
50
my
foot
ropes
rope
together. And then I want to tie it around one of my javelins. Secure it.
Yeah.
Real good.
Okay.
Real tight. And then I want to throw my javelin over onto the other side.
Make an attack roll.
Sure.
Was that a natural 1? Oh, okay.
That was a natural 2.
Fuck, if that had been a natural
I tried through all of my d20s just now, and by the second roll, if I tried to roll them twice, each one of them has rolled a natural 1 in the last minute. All of my dice. this point, I need a sage to save my dice. Really. God.
Nephilim, make a dex saving throw.
Oh.
Just take it, man.
Natural 2 plus whatever.
I mean, the whatever's
five.
pretty
7.
important. Okay, so 7.
7.
You hear this slight whistling sound, and you
Right.
twist away from it as fast as you can, realizing a split second too late what it meant, as this large wooden javelin slamming into the ground right next to you, and rocks fly up in your face. Take a hit point of damage as something gets in your eye, and it's super annoying.
1 hit point. Fuck, man. I'm gonna die.
There's a rope attached to it. A javelin
cool.
came out of nowhere, guys, and landed on the ground around you with no warning whatsoever.
I'm firing an arrow back in the same direction.
Wait, so
Just
sorry, Shelley,
instinct.
remind me. Oh, you threw it from the other side of the water. You threw it from like here.
from here.
Yeah, okay,
from
cool.
here.
Just
from
checking.
here.
I
Kind
was-
of like right here. If they can see me, they would have seen me do it.
no,
because
they,
this side
if you
is
recall,
higher
it was
than
yeah, but it
but
was
it's
hard.
pretty dark.
It's pretty dark. It's wide across. There's a lot of water spray happening, which
Yeah.
is obscuring things generally. And also, if you recall, you couldn't actually see really what was going on with the other side until you were up on top of the rocks, and nobody is up there right now.
I'm putting an arrow back in the trajectory of the javelin.
Wait, can I use light?
Make an
on the
attack roll
arrow
with
he shoots?
disadvantage. Rovan.
Yep.
Rams, what were you saying?
Can I
Thought
use
so.
light on that arrow so that would perhaps like shed some light in? I don't know.
Shit,
Would it
that's an idea.
So you want to try and cast light on the arrow.
Mm.
Hit me. Hit me, wood boy.
Disadvantage roll
Yes.
12.
Okay.
If I didn't have disadvantage, it was a 22.
Before anything else happens, could you make a general dexterity check for me, please, Rovan? And
General Dex. Natural 1. What's happening to my rolls today?
It's just gonna fuck up and he's gonna shoot Nephilim.
12.
okay. So you see what Rovan's about to do, and you reach out to cast light on the arrow, but you're just slightly too slow, and you take another point of damage as the arrow slips right through your hand as you're trying to cast light on it.
Which is why, the arrow doesn't hit me.
Which
Obviously.
then the arrow misses, and an arrow clatters to the stones right next to you, Lance.
Can I take it?
Yeah.
Can I throw it back?
Oh my god.
Make an attack roll with disadvantage. Don't add your proficiency.
Oh, natural 1.
Throw it in your foot.
Yeah, did I tell you about my dice rolling ones the whole time?
So you're like, and you try to do that side dart throw, and just hits the wall.
It's too small. It's stupid. It doesn't have enough hold. I could break it with my fingers.
Nephi, are you okay? He's just an arrow fly
Yeah,
through
you've
his
got,
hand.
you've got like two of the most annoying injuries of all time. You've got something in your eye, and you've got a friction burn on your hand.
Paper cut.
Wonder if he's got any splinters.
Paper cut's the
Yeah.
trifecta.
All right, look, we really have to think about what we're doing. All our actions have consequences, so let's just take a second, please. I don't want to get hurt anymore.
You say your actions have consequences, but really it's when you roll 1s and 2s that has consequences.
I think maybe that was Lance's javelin. I think I saw her carrying something like this. That was just a reaction. Maybe we should try and
There's a
climb with
rope
that
attached to it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we should
climb with that rope.
fasten it down. And then
Easy enough, there's a lot of rope available.
Nice.
Like, you pull on it and you keep going, and then you're like, oh, then you get to like another end of a rope, and you're like, oh, 2 ropes. Because as we all
If
know,
you get
ropes are a
2
fixed
ropes,
length.
I was just want to make sure that my javelin doesn't get back again. So take the rope with you. Metagaming.
So,
Don't leave it.
The rope.
We might need that.
what are you guys doing?
Oh,
I would like to try and secure the.
Make
The
make an intelligence sleight of hand check.
So what do I do for that?
So you proficient in sleight of hand?
No.
Then it's just an intelligence.
Okay. 10.
10. Secure the rope.
Okay.
Oh, are you proficient in survival?
Yes.
Then that would be a 13. Okay, so yeah, you secure the rope.
I'm gonna.
I'm not going first.
I was gonna signal to the panther to try and take Bjorn first.
Yeah, how's is it gonna just tight?
How
rope
high is this
up
wall?
Well, I mean, so you've got like, so we're looking at
fucking panther.
like 15 to 20 foot like scramble up large boulders, like you do at the beach kind of thing.
Okay.
Then you've got like a very fast moving water stream which has a rope suspended across it. Then you've got like another 15, 20 foot of rock on the other side to well, it's less because of the water filling up, so like another 10 foot of rock to climb over when you get to the other side. And then you've got an 80-foot drop. That's the perspective here.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, I don't see a panda. No, a panther. Panther. Yeah, climbing the rope. I don't know. Maybe it can.
I mean, just describe to me what the
Rope dance
panther
across.
does to get across.
Across the water.
I could throw it.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want the panther to try to do?
All right. First, I'm gonna tell Bjorn to get off.
Okay.
and,
Can I throw it?
I'm gonna instruct my panther to wait till I'm also up there.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start climbing up to that waterside bit as well.
Yeah, so everyone so you're gonna climb up with your panther. Is everyone climbing up to like the edge of the water?
Mm.
Okay, so there's just about enough space for all of you, and it's good handholds and stuff to hold on to. There any footlands. So we got the panther up there. We got Rovan up there. Michelangelo, you climbing up as well?
Yeah, I'll go last.
And you're on a Nephilim. You going up as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're all just kind of stacked up
Man, them on the wall.
on there.
Man, I'm an all.
Man, them on the wall. Let's go.
Throw it back.
All right. What do you do? What are you guys doing? I don't know what it is that you're doing.
It's
So
somebody.
you've got a
climbing
rope
the
suspended
rope.
over. Somebody needs
Rope
to do something.
taut. Is the rope taut?
You pulled it taut when you tied it off, I assume.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and
Ninja across.
step over it very lightly, as if it's like a thin branch in the woods.
All right. Make a
You're
dexterity
gonna
check.
You gotta tightrope it. I don't know.
Make an acrobatics check.
Okay. This is a dex check.
You're not proficient.
Ah, shit.
How bad? How bad is
Someone
it?
want to help?
Is that a 1?
Is it
It's
savable?
not that bad.
Okay.
8.
8.
It's not that bad, but it's bad.
So you're right. It is just like a thin branch. Walking across the rope, and then like branches soak up less water, and because this rope has been suspended, I mean it's nearly in the foam of water, right? So you're trying to because the whole there isn't any space that isn't like cascade from the waterfall landing. Like it's just foam all. Rope is extended out across it, It's got to be like 10 feet above the actual surface of the water, but there's water bubbling up on it all the time. The rope's just generally quite wet already. And you're walking across, and your foot slips. You do.
Uh,
You're
I
losing
will
your
attempt.
balance.
All right, I'm gonna let myself fall, and I'm gonna grab with all limbs, so hooking round. with-
Ooh.
Like,
okay, make a dex save.
If I was cool, dex save, something I'm good at. Says that gets natural one. 26. Let's go.
26. Yeah, not with
Yeah.
like it looks like you meant to do it. Like to everybody else watching, you're just like, oh yeah, so it's harder to walk across. Oh, I understand. Rovan thinks it's better to go underneath. So you're just holding yourself above the surface of this water. The back, your back's starting to get quite damp, and you're
I'm like stuck in the climb.
and you're thinking, I'm gonna have to restring the bow. And-
All right. Yeah.
so you make it across.
Okay. I'm gonna tell the panther to try and do the same as me when I was underneath.
Sure.
Oh no.
Oh no, the
So-
panther's gonna be happy
Right,
about
I'm
this.
sure the panther could walk across it.
Make an acrobatics check for the panther. What do you tell the panther to do, Rovan? Because you're on the other side now, so you're gonna have to shout something across to the panther, tell it what to do, or make some kind of a gesture.
Dude, just let me throw it.
Let me throw it.
Fastball
40
special, the
foot?
panther.
Yeah, let me fastball the panther. It just died.
I'm gonna.
Let me throw it.
I don't want my panther to die. I know I'm gonna tell it to do what I did underneath the rope with all fours,
So you indicate. Are you shouting at it, or
Chingy the rope.
indicating and shouting. You know.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
And that was an acrobatics check. Yeah.
Yeah, acrobatics check for the panther.
Panther's dead.
Doesn't have any. 17.
Oh. We're Gucci.
A 17. So the panther is successful in pulling itself along underneath the rope. But there's a problem. The panther is using its claws to hold onto the rope.
I knew that was gonna fucking happen.
I knew this was gonna happen too.
Because that's what cats do when they're climbing on things. That's why they can climb on things. They use their claws. Claws are sharp. Ropes don't like sharp objects. So I
Just
would
let me
like
throw it.
somebody to roll a d100. And if it's over 70, the rope is gonna.
It's over 70.
Mm-hmm.
Deli, I know you've got a physical d100, so if you want to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but
Damn.
actually, yeah, I've been rolling shit, so not me.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, but rolling shit would be good in this scenario.
Yes, it would.
roll?
rip.
93.
Oh,
Rope
Are you
snaps.
serious?
Yeah.
And the panther.
Oh no.
I need you to make a dex save for the panther.
This is gonna be traumatic.
This is going to be really cool traumatic. I really don't want to kill this panther, but apparently that's what.
what would its dex save be? Sorry. Where is that?
If it doesn't say saving throws, does it say saving throws on there? Hang on, let me just pull up.
Don't think.
Yeah, no, it doesn't have any specific saves, so it's just a dex check.
22, natural 20.
Nice.
Oh,
That panther shits itself and grabs onto that rope so hard and is very careful not to move at all while holding onto that. It's just claws it in and there's no movement, and it's realized that it can't, that this might happen again, so it's just doing the and the feet are up as well, so it's like in a little ball holding onto this.
Aw.
Like it managed to flip its legs up and get the other part of the rope on the side, like it snapped in. It flipped itself around and grabbed on, and it's just hanging on for dear life while the water, and it's now fallen in the water. The water is batting it. With that natural 20, it's able to maintain its grip for a moment. What do you
We're
do?
pulling. I'm pulling. Well, I'm pulling on the rope. trying
Okay,
to
make
bring
a
it
strength
up.
check.
Same.
Lance, please help
Yeah,
me.
I just wanted to say
That's
it
a good
little
point,
earlier.
actually. Roll a d100. If it's over 50, it's holding onto the rope on the other side, and if it's under 50, it's the rope on your side.
Somebody else want to roll?
No, Artemis don't have
58.
So it's like the rope that's on the other side that the panther is holding onto. So you start pulling the rope frantically,
To find nothing. at the
panicking,
end of it.
and realize there's no weight and the wrong end.
Okay, so we pull the other side of the rope. Yeah, I'll pull the other side of the rope.
Make a strength check.
Okay. 24, natural 20.
Natural 20. And also, because of your Goliath nature, you have a powerful build, so you count as one size larger when you're determining the weight you can push, drag, or lift. Your giant blood coming in very handy here. As you just
Save this tiger's or this panther's ass.
just plop the panther down next to you.
It's like that one time on the ship.
This panther looks fucking upset. It is drenched. It looks half the size it did before. It's got that that weird cat face thing going on, you know, where when it's like flattened down and it's hanging off and it's dripping, and it's just looking daggers.
Should have let me throw it, dude. No one wanted to let me throw the panther.
Well, now no one is there to.
Now we can't even get across.
So you have two on one side and one on the other.
I can't do anything. I'm completely out of ideas.
All right.
see.
Well,
How big is
I
the
could really do
gap?
with a short break. So let's take a
Yes.
10-minute break, and you guys can brainstorm while we do that.
How big is the gap across?
40 foot.
It's so you needed at least 40 foot of rope. The gap itself is about 15 feet across the water. About 10 feet across the water. But then there's another like 10 foot of rock, and then the height differences and everything, which is why you needed. So it's potentially jumpable, but you don't have a run up.
Okay.
So we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Maybe we should actually just.
Maybe if the
throw
rope,
people.
if you could get the rope, the
So while we wait for Lofty to come, what have you guys decided you do?
Are we trying my idea?
Yeah, yes,
That's a
first.
shot, right?
Yeah.
All right. I would like. So wait, how far is the rope? I didn't actually think about this. Where is the rip on the rope? Or the tear?
The rip in the rope was about halfway across.
And how long's the rope until?
So you had a lot more rope on your side, but you tied it taut. So you've probably got like 15 foot that's 20 yeah, 15 foot on each side that's dangling
So wait, where was the tear?
in the middle.
It's like 15 foot away from you, or
Well, so the thing is, right, guys, you've tied a rope taut across a space. The surface of the water is like 10 foot. To get to like stable ground, it's a little bit more on either side. Then it's like hooking rocks and stuff. So you've got like 15 foot of rope from each side that meets in 30-foot section, and then you had like the extra of like 5 foot on either side that actually needed to get to something that you could anchor it to, and then you tied it off on those sides. There's like 15 foot that's loose, and it's like dragging along the rock, like shaking back and forth under the weight of the panther, and on the other side it's just, like flapping in the water, as it were.
I think Nephilim's question was how far away from the ends of the ropes is he right now?
Oh, just sort of the distance from the rocks to the surface of the water, which is like, because you can move along the rock to in line with wherever. And I assume you guys tied it like roughly in the middle.
Yeah.
So
Okay, can I use
Panther's a
spectral
little in
hands?
danger of going across. Okay, you want to
Can
use?
I use spectral hand, and I want to try and use the spectral hand to tie a knot in the rope, to tie the ends together again.
Okay. I don't know how that would work. You need 2 hands to tie a rope.
No, you don't.
Sure, but this is a hand that has very limited strength, and this rope is currently under a lot of force. I believe the hand can lift 5 pounds.
What if we get the rope from our side, pull it in, then use the spectral hand to pull the rope as close as possible? Wait. Like how? Because it's not on that side. It's not taut, right? So how far?
It's not
would I be
taut
able
on
to-
either side because the
So
rope's
how
now
far would I be able to pull the rope from that side towards me? Like how far would that reach before it?
about halfway, because that's where the rope snaps.
Okay.
The rope's still tied off in the same place. The total amount of rope in between those 2 points where it's tied off is the same as it was. It's just that there's a break in half of it now, so there's no way to get either end to reach to the other side, because if it was, it wouldn't have been taut to begin with.
On the side I'm standing,
Yes.
is there any like appropriate rocks to fasten rope to?
I mean, there's the one that Lance tied it to. I mean, there's a couple other options.
They're just as close to the water side as possible. Rock that's secure enough to tie a rope to, and I'm gonna pull out a rope and just kind of get on with tying a rope to a rock.
Yep, sure.
Because I done fucked up the other rope. Do I need to make any checks to tie this knot?
No, this knot's fine.
Okay. And then, hey Lance, you got any more javelins?
Yep, I do.
Hey, I want to do that thing, but now we can see you, so we won't shoot back.
Oh, you tried to actually hit me? Because
Well, someone throws a javelin at you.
Wow.
You turn and you shoot.
yeah, I couldn't see where you were, sorry. I tie it around another javelin and throw it across.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Mm.
See if you suck.
Natural 20.
Nice. You don't suck.
Yeah.
The javelin lodges in, and it almost looks like it could be used as an anchor itself. And Nephilim, you give it a tug. That javelin's wedged in there. Like, you think that's probably just stable.
Okay.
Try getting across.
Michelangelo, could you carry the cat?
You sure?
All right.
I can carry the cat. I can do that.
Wonderful.
So I will warn you that with the javelin being stuck there, the rope's not actually
Ah. Can someone yet?
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay. It's just like round the stone, round the stone, round the stone, round the stone. Sure. Well, we'll say that you can shorten it so it's taut enough. Lance, you helming that, your knowledge of knots. So you have another taut rope. What would you like to do?
Neffy, Bjorn, you first.
I don't know, guys.
If you have some spell, I will fucking kill you. She's just bouncing across now. I will.
I'll give it a go.
Was there a singular exit and entrance to that dome? That's about 10 feet radius.
The dome doesn't actually like have a solid surface. Unless you're somebody who's not allowed through it. If you're allowed through it, then it falls through. So you could. The problem with the dome, right, is that the person who casts the dome needs to be in the center of the dome for the entirety of its existence, and it takes a minute to cast, at minimum. And it's not prepared, so it takes 11 minutes to cast.
Okay.
So I understand where you're going, but
I don't know if Bjorn's going there.
it's not going to
Gotta
solve.
stand over
It's
the
not
water
going to
for
solve
so
the
long.
problem in the way you hope it will. It doesn't have
Yeah.
a flaw per se.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting idea, though.
Bjorn,
Guess you'd
do
be
the
able to climb
same
over
rope
it.
ended. Come on.
Pretty weak, guys.
You stopped doing the dodgy yoga, didn't you?
Michelangelo,
Still pretty
throw him
weak.
towards me.
Throw him.
Throw him.
Throw him.
I don't want to be thrown.
Throw
Too
him.
late.
He's gonna resist that. So if you want to grapple him, make a athletics check.
Well, I heard he's pretty weak, so.
Accidentally break his hand.
Gosh.
Hold on a minute. I don't know.
He may be weak, but he's pretty dexy.
Give me a second. There it
We'll
is.
leave him on that side if it comes to that. Whatever. You can also try to walk across the rope if he feels like that's smarter.
Okay. What did you say this check was?
Athletics or acrobatics?
No, it's athletics for the person making the grapple.
Yeah.
Oh, really? 10?
Yeah, he slips out. Like your big hand goes for him, but he's tiny and nimble, man. Like, no, I don't want to be thrown.
Can I try again?
Sure, try again.
Make the panther help out by kind of keeping him in place.
That is a 14.
That is another 17.
Can I try again?
Run!
I'm
Get
just
over
chasing
here,
him
run!
around.
Michelangelo. So I'm gonna need you to make a dex save, Michelangelo.
Oh, no.
Can I just try and use like persuasion to persuade Bjorn?
I mean, what do
Is that
you
a
say?
thing? Look, dude, we need to get through this. It's gonna be okay. Michelangelo, you can see how strong he is. It'll be okay, and we're gonna catch you on the other side, all right?
I don't know, man.
Dude, trust me. Just trust me. Have I let you down yet? Maybe. I don't think I have, though.
He was in his own skypod. He let himself down.
If we got any spare rope?
Spare rope.
That's a
There's
good
a
point. I didn't
broken
actually
bit
check
hanging
that.
right
Gonna
there.
fucking rope trick in and swing across or some shit like that. Fuck me. Could have done that
There's
the whole time.
Well, I mean, I thought the ceiling was too high.
Well, he actually, you're right. Actually, he does have rope himself, so he's gonna climb back down. You'll just watch this as he climbs back down, and he's gonna tie the rope off himself. He does a really great job of it.
oh.
And then he ties the rope around himself. And does another really great job. And then climbs back up. And he presents himself to Michelangelo and says, alright.
Okay, so
So he's just holding this coil of rope. It's like one end's tied down there, the other end's tied around himself. It's like, throw me then. Look away, I don't want you to look.
I'm gonna
Okay.
try to catch him.
Okay, Lance can look.
The American sculptor steps up for his discus throw.
What's the check?
Is,
for this?
Like a discus?
So it would be
Halfling
just
throwing.
a normal attack roll,
Okay.
and add your strength.
I think he might die.
That's fine.
It's an 8.
So you line it up, and you make you throw him, and he soars, and he looks over his shoulder at you, and his hair's in the wind, and his beard's flattened down, like as he falls too short into the water, and the
Then I try to
expression
grab
changes
him.
to shock. He's too far out. Like he made it maybe halfway across. He's heftier than he looks. That little half.
Pull him back in. You've got a rope from your side,
Leave
right?
him in.
Pull him
So
back.
he falls in, but his rope's a little bit longer.
Ah.
So he kind of goes off the edge a little bit. So he's like, you can just see him just hanging onto this rope. The water's all in his face, and his beard's all soggy, and his legs are just kind of kicking out into space. Guys,
Leave him hanging, let's go.
And that's the end of D&D for this week.
Just hanging.
It's a cliffhanger.
sure, I'll go with it. Yeah. Yep, I'm done. Yeah, that's good. That's it. We're not gonna end better than that. That's it. I'm sorry we took a break 10 minutes before we finished, but hey, that's what we did. But yeah, we'll find out what happens next week, because hopefully Jamie will be here, and I'm quite excited to see how he deals with this situation.
That was fucking great.
So great session, everyone. Does anyone have anything to share about how their character's feeling about the events of the session? Any character insights to give?
Looking forward to this boss battle with Spider Queen.
Fuck, no, I don't know what to expect. There's drought on there. How many are there? Is there like a military camp? Is there? But that's me, because Lance
Sure.
doesn't have that much experience with the drow because she's been on the sea most of the time.
Yeah, Drow not known for their sailing.
No. So yeah, I think Lance is mostly like, take it careful, but like not too worried. I'm on the other hand
Terrified.
want to turn around and go all the way back up and be like, fuck this, not going down there.
Yeah, you guys don't have a lot of quick escape routes from the situation you're in, that's for sure.
Yeah, if we have to go back the way we came in a hurry, we have to cross this again, and we will not have 2.5 hours to do it.
It's fine. We'll just win the fight. Forehead.
Yeah,
Coach.
amazed at the trust you have in us.
Oh.
Anyone
So-
else got anything?
Rovan's hella interested in that poem and the generally just the outside of like he's from a society where he's not seeing anything. So this poem has piqued his attention. He didn't really know about anything till he went to the museum.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they're related and then we're in a cave that looks like it, he's a bit like, okay, does this just happen in the normal world?
Yeah, is this just what life is?
Things.
Is this what life is all the time? Have I been missing out this whole time?
Yeah, like, okay.
7 wonders of the world, and all of them within 5 minutes walk every day?
So, other than the creepy spiders, he's having a great time.
The spiders are fun. I like the spiders.
The fucking creepy, that's what they are.
It's all part of a larger plot, don't worry.
No.
Oh no, wait, that is a reason to worry. Alright.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
I'm so intrigued by the crystal message, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, none of you even know what language it is, so that's fun to find. Like, let alone read it. You don't even recognize the characters, and none of you speak a language that shares a script with it, so...
Mm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's kind of scary, isn't it?
Little.
There's not that many language scripts in the world, so... Yeah.
Abyssal, infernal. It's
deep speech.
I don't know. Deep speech.
Yeah. Good times, guys. Well, thanks for playing. Great session. Hope everybody had fun.
Yeah.
It's good.
No combat this time. You guys did okay.
I was
Think
so
close.
scared this morning.
We
We were gonna die. Yeah. I thought that was it. It was TPK time. GG. New characters.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys all have backup characters ready.
No.
Oh yeah.
Like, if somebody dies, I want to, like, preferably, like, if a character dies early in a session, I want to have that backup character in the game by the end of the session.
Okay.
I don't want to make a backup character.
I know you don't. But think of all the fun
It's
things
like-
you could be. You could be a horse that talks.
I could be Lance. I really like her.
I'm just gonna be.
I could be a horse that talks.
I'm gonna be,
Yeah, it's the.
I'm
I
gonna be like
still
a
love
goody
that
two
idea.
shoes tiefling that discovers evil and starts kicking puppies because they're like, oh, you can be evil. I'm gonna like the complete opposite of what Nephilim's doing right now.
Yeah,
Gonna be the
Well,
Good tiefling.
wait, Nephilim was kicking puppies before and then
no,
found
no,
out that's
well,
good in
yeah,
the word
I'm
and now
like
he's
evil.
good.
I'm
And now
evil. I'm
he-
discovering good, right? And I'm like doing like little bits of good, and I'm like getting excited by the good. Whereas this one's gonna be like, oh, I'm very like overly good. So I've just discovered like small sins and evil, and now I'm like enjoying the idea of like kicking puppies. Yeah, that's my example, and I stick with it.
Great.
Oh man. From kicking puppies to loving puppies to kicking puppies. It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's like a message that it's a deeper meaning. If you die again, you'll flip back.
Cool.
Oh,
Cool.
Indeed.
Hopefully next time with Jamie.
yeah.
Hopefully next time with Jamie, I'll try and catch up with him. Find out where he's at. I haven't heard from him around D&D time for a while now.
Yep.
Cool. Well, have a great time, everybody. Goodbye, Twitch.